And welcome into our Halloween week edition of Sports Den. It's the best time of year. We're heading into the spooky season. We're heading into playoff season. We're talking all kinds of playoffs this week for all of our area fall sports teams. The Centennial Cougars, the Blaine Bengals, the Spring Lake Park Panthers. We've got you covered with everything. I was going to wear a costume this week, and then I thought, you know what's scarier than anything? The looming threat of postseason elimination. We're going to have football playoff talk coming up, highlights from all three of our teams. We've got playoff volleyball on the docket. Soccer season wrapped up as we have the state tournament this week, so we are well into the postseason in fall sports. Let's get you caught up on some Friday night football highlights. We will start here in 6A, the 4-seed Centennial taking on the 5-seed Rochester Mayo opening round of the 6A playoffs. The Cougars started the game recovering a fumble at the Mayo 23. They turn it into 7 points. Junior Caleb Melzer finding the end zone grass for a 2-yard score. It's 7-0 Cougars. Still first quarter, just what the Cougars do, lull them to sleep with the inside runs and then snap one outside. Senior Brady Halfman halfway down the field, a 65-yard score and an explosive play for Centennial makes it 14-0 Cougars. End of the first quarter. Look at the holes, look at the lanes. Halfman's barely touched as he goes right down the right side of the field for the 2-touchdown lead for Centennial to start out the night. And then Mayo would get to work. Junior Isaac Peterson, he didn't start the game at QB. He'd link up with Joseph Boguslawski here. It's not bogus, and strange things were afoot at the Circle K after a 30-yard catch set up the first and goal, and then Isaiah Beal ran it in from 3, one of Class 6A's top 10 rushers in the state, cuts the lead in half. He would just get the line to gain there on that first and goal rush to make it a 14-7 ball game for Beal. And Mayo would go back to Beal again. This is Sparta, well, the Spartans, and they would have been a tie game here as they do bust through for the 14-all score. That would be the score at halftime. Second half now, junior quarterback Isaac Belinsky Strauss tries out the passing game and goes to the air. A fantastic one-handed interception by junior Max Durgan. His dad, maybe an orthopedic hand specialist at the Mayo Clinic. Would that even help? I don't know. But that's a great play, and this kid can play. Centennial would kick a field goal to take the lead. It wouldn't last for long. Isaiah Beal gets loose again. Arm tackles won't stop this guy. He goes in from 58 yards out to make it 21-17. One cut, he's gone. Isaiah Beal with his third touchdown of the night for Rochester Mayo, and it's 21-17. Centennial would claw back. A QB keeper by Belinsky Strauss takes it in for a 3-yard score. The Cougars are back on top, 24-21 with 3:17 left to go. But Mayo, they were not done, looking to cash in on their Beal ticket once again. A 14-yard touchdown to give Mayo a 28-24 lead with a minute 29 left. Fourth touchdown of the game from the senior, who led with 171 yards rushing in this game. Centennial got the ball back, but not enough time as they fall in the playoff opener.
It was like the start of the third quarter right after half, and I knew that they were probably going to try to take a shot and make a big play right out of the half. And my coach Schmitty said to key the tight end, and that's what I did. I saw him release up the field, and then, I just jumped it and made a play. And so, I was in the right spot at the right time, I guess.
Is that the best play you've probably ever made on a football field?
I'd say. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, I didn't know what to do after, honestly. But, it was a great moment for sure.
Talk about the defensive effort, because they came out, got good field position, opened up a 2-touchdown lead, but then you guys really locked it down from there.
Yeah, our defensive coach, Gunner, he did a great job of switching some things up on the line and freeing up our backers to make some plays. And, we really came together and just played as a team and trusted each other, and ended up on the upside of this one. So it was fun.
The way our offense played with our blocks, we started off really slow, and then we had to get in our teammates' heads and say we had to pick this up because this is not us. And then it showed on the field that we picked things up and got those 4 touchdowns. All of us did.
Do you like to bounce it outside? Because it seemed like the first tackle, arm tackles never brought you down, and you always bounced it outside, and that's where you had some of your biggest runs.
Yeah, because we started off bouncing to the outside, but then they were reading that, so we started going up inside. And then they started coming in more. So I just read off of that and saw that they crashed in, so I just bounced it out for a touchdown.
Rivals Blaine were also in action Friday night. 3 seed in the 6A playoffs with a 5-3 regular season, taking on the 6 seed Rosemount, who had lost 7 straight after a week 1 victory. We pick up action in the second quarter, game tied at 7-all. Gavin Caswell finds Jack Burke. George Kittle called it tight end week in the NFL on Sunday. It started on Friday night in the high school playoffs. Burke was down at the 1, so Finn Beagle, the senior, had to punch it in for the last yard, 14-7, Irish in the second. Sam Shaughnessy lost his favorite target, Caden Lawagi, last week to a nasty injury. Other guys looking to step up. Enter senior Camden Lighthizer, his first touchdown of the season, a 3-yarder to tie it up before the half. In the third quarter, Shaughnessy, he's so fast he could probably call his own shot, point to the pylon he's going to, and still beat you there. A 7-yard score in the third puts Blaine up 21-14. And then Rosemount opening up the playbook, a pitch to Caswell. That's the quarterback who had initially lined up at wide receiver. He connects 68 yards down the field to Bennett Simmering. This game went from simmering to boiling, 21-21, still with under 6 minutes left to play in the third. Shaughnessy rolling out in the third quarter, 2 guys pursuing him. That would leave Noah Teeden open. What do we say? Happy tight end day, 7-yard touchdown, and it's 28-21 Bengals. Finn Beagle sniffing for the end zone like a bloodhound. He'd find it, 28-all to start the fourth quarter on Beagle's second touchdown of the game for Rosemount. Bengals and the Irish would continue to trade blows. Shaughnessy 33 yards to the house here, made it 35-28. Rosemount would score again. They get a 2-point conversion to go up by 1 with 1:27 left. And then Shaughnessy with the Bengals with the ball back in possession and down 1, scrambling here just to the bounds of the 12. 2 seconds left, enough to line up a 29-yard field goal for Jared Killian. So what a scene at Blaine High School to get the Bengals the first round playoff victory. Taking a look at the bottom left portion of the Class 6A bracket. Teams need to win 2 games to reach Osseo in the state quarterfinal round in a game that'll be played a week from this Friday. 5th-ranked Minnetonka also victors over the Park of Cottage Grove. They're the favorites to come out of this subsection in the Class 6A tournament. Minnetonka, the 5th overall ranked team in the state. Blaine looking to reach their first state tournament since 2018 when they made a run all the way to the state semifinals and lost that year to Eden Prairie. They'll have a matchup this Friday night against Forest Lake. Blaine, the 3 seed, so they'll be traveling up north to take on the Rangers' first meeting of the season between the Bengals and the Rangers in that one. So while there's a lot of new matchups in Class 6A, some familiar ones in Class 5A that still use the old section system, it was a rematch of the 3-seed SLP against the 2-seed Rogers on Saturday afternoon. We pick up action on the opening drive of the ballgame. SLP, a fake punt on 4th and 6. How about junior Colin Welch with a 51-yard touchdown here to open up the afternoon for Spring Lake Park, and the Panthers jump out to an early 7-0 lead. The defense getting some stops, so the Panthers knocking on the door later in the first. Nolan Roach pitches Lamari Brown, a great block by E.J. Monluo. That's textbook Panther football right there for a 26-yard score, making it 14-0. Still in the first, RPO action by Ethan Fortin, a dart to Sawyer Jasuski, who does the rest, puts some yak on it for an 18-yard completion to get it near the midfield line. Same drive, Royals would cash in on a 2-yard score by running back Jace Carlson. The junior cuts the lead in half in an eventful first quarter. On to the second, Nolan Roach says this ain't your granddaddy's SLP football. How about a 59-yard bomb through the air to Welch, his second touchdown of the game. 1 on the ground on the fake punt, another one through the air, and a big play makes it 21-7 Panthers at the break. And if you like big plays, the defense, they like them too. Teddy Wackman right into his hands. He says, thank you much, very good, sir. A 22-yard pick six sealed the win for Spring Lake Park, 28-7 the final after that fourth quarter interception. So here's a look at the Section 6 bracket in Class 5A. The teams still go through the sections that they played during the regular season to get to state in the lower classifications of football. So Spring Lake Park really get a monkey off their back, snapping a 3-game losing skid to the Royals since Rogers joined the section and have kind of been the class of it the last few years. It sets up a tantalizing rematch this week, Friday, against Monticello. The Panthers lost 14-22 to the Magic less than 3 weeks ago in Week 7 of the regular season. These two teams split last season, with Monticello taking the playoff meeting, which last year came in the semifinals. They play again on Friday as the Panthers go for their first trip to the Class 5A state tournament since 2019. So that is getting you all caught up on all the playoff football action that we had in the last week. We'll have the Panthers playing for the state tournament and the Bengals going for that as well, too, what should be an exciting Friday across the Twin Cities and across the state of Minnesota. We're going to move ahead in the show here to the volleyball court, where we have got a potential matchup of two North Metro TV schools on the court. Blaine and Centennial both occupying that Section 7 in girls Class 4A. Let's take you to the highlights of Centennial's first round matchup. They're the 1 seed in that section, taking on the 8 seed Coon Rapids. The Cougars in black, dressed to kill here in the playoff opener. Elena Hakey, the junior Gopher commit, can hit it from the outside now, and that's a scary thought, some spooky music, because it's scary when she gets a hold of one. 9-3 Cougars in the first. Still in the first, set by Emerson Jennings to Nora Leeser, runs it into the Cardinal block, put up by number 15, Isabella Nelson, to get one back for Coon Rapids. It's set point Cougars later in the match and in system for Coon Rapids, but out of sorts, and Centennial on that attack error takes a 1-0 lead in the best of 5. Set number 2, if you're the Cardinals, I'd advise not passing it there. Nitro zone for Elena Hakey, 3-0 Centennial early in the second. Still second set, Cougars with the lead, but an attack from Nelson off the right pin cuts into the advantage, making it 7-3 Centennial still with the advantage here. Cougars would pull away. Eden Quartamunch setting to Addison Pash here. Too hot to handle in the back row, and that was set point that put the Cougars up 2-0 in the match. Early third and with a lead, Jennings to Hakey, showing the soft touch with a changeup there. And then Madeline Wilbur with an ace serve would keep the Cardinals hanging around in this one. Senior Natalie Ashworth would get a hold of one here for Coon Rapids, again trying to rally back, down 2-0, but it was too much for Centennial. A block by Annabelle Steinhoff would end it in a sweep for the Cougars, who take it in 3 straight to top Coon Rapids. So as we mentioned, Centennial, they are the 1 seed in this Section 7 4A bracket. Blaine also victorious in their opening matchup. That was the 5 seed on the road, and they swept the 4th seeded Duluth East Greyhounds. So it'll be an all Cat Clash North Metro TV matchup coming your way tomorrow night, Tuesday at 6 p.m. We'll be broadcasting that game right here on North Metro TV. Centennial beat Blaine 3-1 in the October 3rd matchup of the regular season in Blaine. That'll be 13-15 Blaine against 18-11 Centennial. Taking a look at the 5 4A bracket, Spring Lake Park are swept in the first round in arguably the toughest section in the state. Spring Lake Park will finish the year 4-21. How about Maple Grove, who upended Spring Lake Park in that first round, unranked in the final coaches poll? They sweep the 4-time defending state champions in Wayzata. They were ranked 7th at the end of the regular season. So it's going to be Maple Grove and 2nd-ranked Champlin Park meeting in Wednesday's section final. That'll be played at Osseo High School in a loaded matchup in that one. That's going to just about do it for us on this edition of Sports Den. We caught you up on the playoffs in football. We caught you up in volleyball. We should have more highlights to come, as we've got plenty of teams still in contention for state tournament play next week. The Cougars, the Bengals, the Panthers. Remember to stay locked in right here on this edition of Sports Den. Our thanks to Tim Shingen Ted LaRue and A.V. Becker in studio here in Blaine. I'm Matt Dean signing out. We'll welcome you back next week as we start our fall recap episodes and catch you up through the state tournament the rest of the fall right here on SportsDen.